Welcome. In this video I'm going to be talking about online and distance learning services. So we're going to start with talking about what the advantages and disadvantages are of online tutorials. Now, I followed quite a few online tutorials in my time, and one of the best ones that I've ever followed is from Udacity, which is a massive online open course where you can go online, watch some videos from very experienced, very educated individuals about specific topics, and then you can sit tests within the tutorials to actually find out and help you progress through the learning. So this is a Udacity course that I took on Intro to Computer Science, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of a clip from this so you can understand hopefully what the advantages and disadvantages might be of using online tutorials.
Times 60 seconds in a minute, we can do all those multiplications together and we get this result, which is about 31.5 million seconds in a year. So now it's time for your first programming quiz. You've seen enough to be able to write a Python program, and your goal is to write a Python program that prints out the number of minutes there are in 7 weeks, which is the amount of time we have for this course. You'll do that by entering your code in here, and then you can try different things. You can try running the code, see the result, and then when you've got an answer, you can click to submit that answer and see if it's correct.
So as you can see there, what was available to me were videos and then a test. And now I'm actually in the environment where I can try and complete that test. If I, for example, test the run, gives me an answer here. I can continue to the answer, and it will then tell me the answer. So within these online video tutorials, not only do I get to check out the learning that's going on and engage in the learning through these videos, but I also get to test myself with these end of topic tests, and I get feedback straight away. So in terms of what is offered through online tutorials, it's basically that you can access using the internet, or sometimes they're on CD or DVDs. You can access your learning straight away through a subject teacher who tends to be an expert in their field. The content is that the instructor provides them with visuals, provides them with audible information about the learning. Again, I've talked about the fact that there's tests, there's a lot of drill and practice. So for example, up here you can see that I can check my progress through the course, and if I'm not sure about something, I can just go back, I can watch the video again, I could do the test again, and again it's just that drill and practice to help me consolidate the learning that's going on. There's also other online tutorials that are different to this one from Udacity that you might want to, or you might have seen before, where there's game-based learning. So you actually learn the content through playing games, and that's obviously very fun and engaging for many different people, so youngsters, adults, etc. What I like about this is that the learning for me can be done at a distance. I haven't actually got to go to these lectures, I haven't got to go to school, I haven't got to go to university and actually do this learning. I haven't got the time, I haven't got the money, and what I can do now is I can do this from a distance. I can go online, log in, watch these videos when I've got some time available, and learn at my own pace as well, which for me is a great advantage. You know, I'm on my own. This is one-to-one learning, and I can go at this at my own pace. I can pause the videos, I can rewind the videos, again I can go forward steps, backward steps, and it's very flexible for me as to when I want to learn and at the pace that I want to learn as well. I also like the fact, like I said, that it's a range of media. It's video, it's audible, there's interactive elements of it as well, and I can actually access this on my mobile device as well. I have an iPad, so I can actually log on here. I don't have to be at home, which is where I tend to watch most of them. I could be on a bus, I could be on the plane, I could be in the car, obviously not driving, and watching these videos whilst I'm out and about. The thing is, there are some disadvantages as well. The disadvantages for me is that although this course is fantastic, and I do get these instructor's notes and I get these other resources, I do get this discussion facility as well, where I might have a particular question about this video, and there is a good community of people that respond to these. However, I haven't got that physical open communication, that real-time communication with the teacher. If there's not something I don't understand, I can't get instant feedback straight away where you could if you're in a classroom environment. Obviously, another disadvantage, I guess, is the fact that it's difficult for teachers, if students are using these to learn, to actually keep track of where individual students are. There are some applications and some online tutorials such as the Khan Academy, if you're aware of that, where there's a teacher portal where there is tracking that can be done. I've used the Khan Academy and I've used Code Academy in particular with my students, and a lot of the students like it because, like me, they get to work at their own pace, and some students could push ahead, they could do it at home, they don't just have to do it in the classroom, and they've really enjoyed it. But again, the disadvantage for some is the fact that it is a lot of drill and practice, and the conceptual learning of the whole topic is sometimes a bit distant. So it's very, do this, and this will happen. What I do like about these ones is, for example, here, they do actually get real videos from corporate.
Let's get started by asking Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google,
for interviews. So here they interview Sergey Brin, who developed Google, and he talks about how he used Python, which is what I'm using and learning about in this tutorial, to develop Google's search engine. So there are advantages, there are disadvantages to online learning. You draw your own conclusions. Make sure that you make a list of those advantages and disadvantages as well, just so you can weigh them up. Linking into the online tutorials is something that I've mentioned, is this online assessment. So you can see here at certain stages, look, the first programming quiz. This online assessment is fantastic because it's basically instant. As soon as I have answered what I believe is the solution to the problem, I get immediate feedback. Yes, it's right, or no, it's wrong. Sometimes I get a bit of guidance as well as to why it might be wrong, so there might be clues there, check this, check that. So the fact that it's instant feedback of online assessment is a great advantage to any learner. You can also, as a teacher, take advantage of online assessment. So I use sometimes Edmodo, for example, which is where I post quizzes for students to actually take those quizzes, and it assesses them immediately. That actually frees up time for me as a teacher because I don't have to mark them. The computer marks them for me, I actually have to take time to build the quizzes and actually put in the actual responses, but I can actually get the computer to do all of that marking for me once I've set up the initial test and the marks. So an advantage for online assessment for a teacher is that it actually frees up my teacher time. The advantage for online assessment for a student is the fact that it actually provides them with immediate feedback. There are disadvantages to online assessment. So for example, the fact that I do actually do most of my assessments with my students on Edmodo. Disadvantages are, the security of Edmodo. How secure is it? If I just go and have a look at some of the quizzes here that I've developed for my students previously. If a student takes his test, then how secure is it that someone can't hack in and change the results, for example? So here you can see I'm previewing a test here that I've written previously. It's multiple choice questions, and that's the other disadvantage, I guess, in the fact that if you are doing online assessments, you are restricted to what sort of questions you can ask. They tend to be multiple choice, true or false, one-word answers, because it would be difficult for the computer to be subjective if the test involved an essay answer question. And so there are limitations. It is only suitable for certain types of assessment. And the other thing is that I am reliant on the equipment itself. If I'm relying on all my students doing this test on the computers and Edmodo is down or the computers are broke, then there's a disadvantage there for online assessments as well.